That's our house.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Why does that say Gabby Schrott's?
The fuck?
Why did that just say Gabby Schrott's?
What the fuck?
Gabby? What the fuck? Gabby, what the fuck? Gabby, what the fuck? Holy shit. So, a couple people have asked for a story time, but before I do that, I just want to say that everything I'm about to say in this video is super hypothetical based on a hypothetical story. Okay? So, let's go ahead and call my ex-boyfriend Byron and my roommate and best friend Labby. So basically, I had gotten a hold of Byron's phone and I was like, listen, Labby, come outside. Like, let's go through his phone together because this is not the first time that we had gone through his phone together. So we had propped up the phone, which is why I was recording when I had found out, because I was like, I know he's done stuff with other women. He cheated on me about 40 times. Hold on. Let me say I take full accountability for not leaving the first time. Not even the 39th. So I knew that he was doing stuff as well as had multiple relations with other women. So I knew when I was going through it that I was going to find stuff. So the video is about 1 minute and 36 seconds before I found the video of them together. Before that, we thought it was funny, again, to see what was going on. To make this all make sense, I need to go back a little bit, so stay with me. Him and I had just graduated college. We'd been in a 2-year relationship, and he basically was like, hey, like, let's figure this out. So I had moved to Columbus from Cleveland for him, right? Me and Labby had worked at the same establishment, and I was like, hey, I'm about to move to Columbus for this boy. Obviously, she knew about him. And she was like, hey, I don't really, have many friends out here. Like, why don't I move to Columbus with you? Make the rent cheaper. Let's all get a big 2-bedroom apartment. So that's basically exactly what we did. The tape that they had taken was in September of 2024. We didn't move in until November of 2024. So they had already bumped and grind. Nobody was going to bring it to my knowledge. She swears up and down to this day, not to myself, because she has not once apologized. He has not once apologized. Nobody's ever spoken to me, basically, for pretty much the most part, from that day that I found that video of them. So she let me move in with the man that she had already bumped and grind. So who knows, how long that they were bumping and grinding anytime I went to work, anytime I was out of town, anytime I was visiting family, or just going to the grocery store. Long story short, they had taken that video in September of 2024. He didn't have the video. She sent it to him July 1st, I think it was, maybe around there. She sent it to him on Snapchat, which is why I say, why does this say blah, blah, blah? He had taken a video off someone else's phone of the Snapchat she had sent them of the tape they had made. He saved it to his camera roll, which is why I hadn't seen it for basically 6 months since it had happened. A lot of people were like, oh, I would have beat her up, blah, blah, blah. When the video ended, I was in complete, utter shock. So I basically was like, yo, get out the car. Her mom was staying us at the time visiting from Cleveland, and I woke her up and I was like, hey, Bookie, I just found videos of your daughter having with my boyfriend in his phone. Right after that, she had basically... I didn't come home that night because, obviously I couldn't sleep at the home we all shared. So I basically went and stayed somewhere else. I came home 24 hours after that, and she had moved everything out. I came in and it looked like a whole new, like somebody was moving in. After that, we had pretty much all cut communication. I didn't want to speak to her. She clearly didn't want to speak to me. Instead, she went and told all my business to all my personal friends and people that I held near and dear to my heart, and things that you would tell your friend that you wouldn't tell others, she went on to tell. Lied about that for a while until I found a tape of her, or they recorded her talking about it, and she basically was like, I'm not going to sit here and argue with you, and that's how it ended. I never got an apology. I never got I'm sorry. They swear that was the one and only time that they did it in September when we were all living together. I just don't believe that, because if you're comfortable enough to make a video, you guys were comfortable enough to do that multiple times. after that, pretty much had settled down, other than people would send me videos. He was going into her job, visiting her. So I kind of knew that they hadn't cut communication, started following each other on Instagram. And I was like, yo, this is kind of weird. Baby, you were supposed to be my best friend. You were supposed to be my boyfriend. Why are you guys following each other on Instagram? Why are you going to her job? And kind of press the issue. Basically, then I started to get blackmailed, and things had kind of spiraled. From there, other than the blackmail, which I can't get into, even though this is a hypothetical story, I just don't want to get into it because I don't feel comfortable enough. Labby had been there for multiple abuse situations that had happened to me. Obviously, all the cheating that happened to me, she would sit there and listen to me cry and vent about how I truly loved this man, but he would never be loyal to me, which is, again, where I take fault. But then decided and never told me that she had slept with him. So basically, I hadn't heard anything for months until about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I was at our pool and I saw Labby on my Ring camera, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna go talk to her because, she keeps telling people my business, and I just feel like that's not fair. I've handled this entire situation with grace. I kind of just moved on with my life, and I just feel like it's not fair that she's telling people my business. So I wanted to go say hey, I don't appreciate this. Well, to my knowledge, when I had pulled up, I had seen her car and I heard it start. Byron was actually in the driver's seat and she was coming out. I was like, Byron's not supposed to be here because, oh my God, I completely left out. The day after I had found out that tape, I was out drinking with my friends, rightfully so, and I saw in my Ring tape that Byron was at my home, which I was like, why would Byron be at my home? Well, he had flipped this entire bedroom upside down. This bed frame that you see was damn near hanging from the ceiling. All my clothes were scattered everywhere. He had taken clothes of mine and things like that. So basically, I had called the cops that night. After dealing with, again, abuse and things like that. I never called the cops, but I had finally met my final straw. Because I'm like, why are you guys trying to play the victim? And why is he trying to break into my apartment when I actually did nothing wrong? Basically, after that, I hadn't spoken to either of them. Obviously, things had moved on. I saw her at my apartment, and he wasn't supposed to be here. So the day that I saw her at my apartment, and I saw him driving, I'm like, hey, he's not supposed to be here. The police had already told him he's not supposed to be here. Well, I had stood in front of the car because I was like, no, you guys are not leaving together. He's not supposed to be here. I'm calling the police. He had ended up ramming the car into my feet and running over my foot. Come to find out that they are actually currently living together, and I don't know what they came to get because he or she doesn't have anything here. I guess they took some dog food, they took the paper towels that I bought, and to be honest, after that, I don't know what they took. But that just frustrated me really bad because I was like, I haven't done anything to you guys. I'm trying to move on with my life, and you guys are continuing to show up at my apartment together. Where again, then I had found out that she was staying with him. Basically, from this point on, I'm dealing with things behind the scenes. Again, she's staying with him. The last time I spoke to him, he said that she was furnishing his entire apartment. She doesn't have money. Also doesn't currently have a job. He currently doesn't have a job because he got fired from his. I know that before she was $10,000 in credit card debt, so I'd love to see where it's at now. As well as furnishing his entire apartment. But honestly, it's just been a mess. And this entire time, I feel like I have moved with such grace. I have definitely strengthened my relationship with the Lord. And at this point, it just seems like they're doing things to get a reaction out of me. And they're not going to get the reaction that they want out of me, because at the end of the day, if you can do that to your best friend and your girlfriend, that's just demonic behavior to me. And I would rather choose to live in peace. So basically, since the day that I have found out, they have tried to, well, he did trash my apartment, tries to get a reaction out of me, currently living with him, supposedly dating because his name in her phone is my ball with the heart. And honestly, at the end of the day, I wish them the best, because those are two demonic human beings. He abused me for 2 years, broke my phone. The phone I'm on is a brand new phone because he smashed the other one in the street. I have holes in my wall. So, it's just silly to me that you would want to be with my abuser knowing that I cried to you about the abuse that I was going through and the things that I was dealing with. But at the end of the day, I just feel like that should have never happened. But again, two demonic people deserve to be with each other. And at the end of the day, the Lord is always going to prevail. And yeah, so that's the story time. Again, all of this is hypothetical based on a hypothetical story. Okay? Okay.
Man, to be honest, Gabby, ain't no damn Labby. We know your real name. But it's your boy Schoolie. Welcome back to another episode of NBA's TV, Not You Born Hustlers TV. And this was actually a crazy story, man. It's crazy how she was just sitting right next to her and she saying that. Me personally, I don't know if I'm that. Oh shit. Me personally, I don't know if I'm that emotionally tame. I probably would have punched the hell out of my boy. You know what I'm saying? Beat the hell out of him, or he would have to beat my ass, either or. But I don't think I'm that mature yet to just be like, damn, I probably would have whooped Bobby. We would have been that mug going at it at this point, because that's disrespect. And the reason why I honestly say that it's real disrespect is because it's one thing to be around me and then be trying to holler at my girl, but it's another thing to, just kind of be an associate and try to do it. But if you all in the mix and I'm telling you about all my business, that's why you don't need to ever tell people about your business. They don't be listening. A lot of time, either people don't give a fuck and they'll try to use the thing that you vent about to tell other people. Because remember, every vent connects to a different room. But for real, but it's either that or shit, people be trying to use the information for themselves. That's why once upon a time before I stopped doing that shit, because the nigga scuffed me like that. I ain't gonna lie, I'm overly telling them my business. Hey, my girl got this and this, that, and this. Next thing you know, shit, she done swapped her ass out. It was one good old night. I was fucking around. Ain't want to come, you know what I'm saying? Let a motherfucker in the door. Next thing you know, that's his hoe. For real, you gotta always stay on top of your toes, man. But let me know, do y'all think y'all could have been that mature and reacted that way? Do y'all think Lab be wrong? Do y'all think that she should forgive Gabby? Me personally, I say leave it alone. Let God do his work, man. She gonna see what's going on. But it's your boy Schoolie. If you knew her, make sure you subscribe. I'm on our way to 1,000 subscribers, man. And if you owe her, what's up, hustler? But yeah, until we meet again, my friend, I'm out. Let's go.